What's up, guys? So this is how my pre-mayhem week started. Just a day at the gym with my boys. A few days at the gym with my boys. So kind of recharging things up. For those of you guys who have kept up with the log, you guys know I kind of went a bit too hard for too long because of this upcoming patch in my schedule. So mayhem, the physique summit, going overseas to present, and we paid for it. So building things back up slowly, and hoping to surpass what I had done during this past block. However, in the meantime, I'm there for my boys as I'm charging things back up. We still did a few things. Calves, I got right back to work with those simply because they're small muscle. I don't need a whole lot of work. I really only dedicate about 7 super good sets to those over the course of the week. Look at that pause. Stacked up this machine, and we're adding dumbbells to it. And we're like staying somewhere in like the 9 to 12 rep range with this load. Check out that pause. So just really briefly, that's where I'm at with my training. Things are super, super good right now. I cashed in a lot. So even though I wish I hadn't, I guess, learned the hard way, it doesn't, it doesn't wash out all the work that I had put in the last few weeks. A little booty work too. This machine I went pretty hard with too, and more so to fortify. I really feel in my upper glute, so right around my SI joint. I'm not saying this is what fixes it, but doesn't hurt to fortify that area. Unlike people who do have issues in that area, this machine doesn't really irritate things. So if you do have SI joint issues, because of what it does to your lower back, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to everyone. But we have one of these little direct glute work. Why not? But then it was off to Cali with Coach Alberts, the Godfather, 19-year-old phenom, Joshua Kenyon. Yeah, I'm sure those of you guys who've kept up with us on Instagram know about this young man. Total humble freak of nature. This was 2 days out. Yes, we still hit the legs 2 days out. We just don't do any new movements that we haven't done before, because soreness or too much soreness can get in the way of posing. It might also mean, hey, some muscle damage might have gone on, and for some people, muscle damage doesn't look too good. It kind of makes you look a little washed out and blurry. But again, we do want to train things simply because this is what's going to encourage the carbohydrates to go into the right places. Again, not too hard, but definitely still some pretty good work. So everything with about anywhere from 4 to 2 reps left in the tank. That was the lower body day on Thursday, and then on Friday, the team gathered here at the gym, my old gym, the gym. Man, it's great to be back, and I really took this training facility for granted. I know that I brag almost about my current gym and how awesome it is. However, this place, like, it has it going on, and the owner CJ is really, really good about getting us the things that we need. I mean, homie got the girls in the bathroom. Kind of goes to tell you like where we are at right now. He got them a full length selfie mirror because the women requested one. I'm sure the guys would like one too, but we'll see who's brave enough to raise their hand on that one. But yeah, we all met up at the gym, got an upper body training sesh, met up with a lot of my old friends like Francisco. You guys might have remembered him from back in the day. This is a bodybuilder. How you doing? He's like, check out my quads. I'm competing later in the year. My boy Frank puts it down for you guys who don't know. He gets nasty with it. Yeah, he's been getting shredded long before shredded was a thing, and not legally shredded, but like shredded. So it's good to see Frank fitting in a little bodybuilding and what is it's a really just a complicated schedule right now, seeing that he's in the midst of school. But everyone was there, new friends, old friends. This is why I trek down to California every single year when I can to do this. It's about the show, which you guys will see is quite the spectacle. But above that, it's also it's a good time to catch up with everyone, and a lot of the who is who, I guess you could say, in our little circle was there. So yeah, Jeff right here was repping hard. He had all the athletes this year in the Mayhem. So if you're interested in doing the Mayhem, and I think by the end of this video you might be, like, let me know, bro. I'd like to bring you in, and we'll bring you in right the way we do here at 3D Muscle Journey. But yeah, this is what we do a day out from the show during peak week. For those of you who don't, we're still a little confused when it comes to peaking. We do have some stuff in our resources. If you check out our YouTube channels, check out our vault homies, a lot of good stuff there. But man, everyone was looking tight, everyone was looking right. We got a nice little chillax training session. Look at that tricep on my boy. I'm gonna say his name wrong, and Leo, one of those, probably not. Portuguese, they say it a little bit differently, and I understand how important that is, because everyone always says my name like they have tinfoil stuck in their mouth, but I'm used to it. But my boy here, bringing it all the way from Brazil, my homie Eric. Check that out, man. This guy has all sorts of potential, and when he dials it in head to toe, he is going to be something something just like it. We'll get those online accusations that we all are a little too familiar with, unfortunately. But yeah, one more tricep shot here with my boy Leo. Sorry, dude, but yeah, my dude is something else. And I guess when you're coming all the way from Brazil, you have to bring it, and that he certainly did. So we got our training in ish. You know, we I guess you could call it part of the training. You know, it's not going to make or break you, but it is important. Oh, my homegirl Callie was here. Check out the quads on my homegirl. But that's not what we're here for. We're not here to look at girls with muscles. We want to see what these dudes are up to. And this is what he looked like. This is what the Brazilian badass looked like. He was bringing it. Really, really good shape on this guy. One thing about him is he's got pretty small joints, but has managed to pack on a lot of muscle on that frame. And that's why I think, what you're going to notice about him is that he has this like really, really flamboyant X frame. Small frame, but like he looks a lot bigger than he is, which is what bodybuilding is about. I'm sure, I don't know his exact body weight, but I guarantee you most of you guys would estimate that he's about 10-15 pounds heavier than he actually is. So we started off in the bathroom. Then finally some other folks that are posing here left, and we got to do our thing. So here's Josh, freak 19-year-old, fooling around a little bit before we get down to business. Last minute touch-ups with the posing. This is one of the perks of doing the Mayhem, is that, yeah, you get to have us, in particular the Godfather. I mean, it's kind of like watching someone, you know, it's kind of like giving someone feedback in regards to how they move with their movements in the gym. But it's another thing to actually have Jeff right there, like getting his hands on you, twisting you this way, twisting you that way, and really being able to make certain adjustments that you just cannot catch via the computer. But yeah, check that out. How's that for a 19-year-old? The future is right there, and my man is going to be making a lot of noise for the next few years, and he definitely, I feel, lived up to all the hype. For those of you who don't know, who don't follow us on Instagram, he's been training since he was 13. This was actually his first real diet. So his first real diet was a contest prep, believe it or not. And yeah, all things considered, this is his first diet with a huge deadline, the Mayhem of all deadlines. Yeah, he did his job, and he got pretty damn peeled. But yeah, super excited about this guy. He'll definitely be around for a while, and I'm glad to say that, yeah, we got to help him throughout his first prep. But yeah, watching Jeff do his thing is like, yeah, it's something else, and if I think this in itself is worth the trip down to Sacramento to do the Muscle Mayhem. Wow, that pose should be illegal. But yeah, we took our last look at the athletes. Everyone brought it in their own way. Zach I was pulling for this guy, like Team Ectomorph. Like he is one of us. Like gets shredded, super predictable, but more than anything, is like, hey, let's try to keep that muscle mass. And that he certainly did. He looked nice, full, lines everywhere. And the camera that I'm using is really good, but there's nothing like seeing this like right there, like in person. Like the camera doesn't do it justice. It's different to be in a room with someone and actually see them in 3D and see them actually like take up all that space. um, but nevertheless, like I'm sure that you guys can still appreciate just how insane this looks, and how cool like natural bodybuilding is, how cool bodybuilding is. Like we have that's the one thing, that side tangent here, that we have. I mean, this looks like a classic physique. This is what bodybuilding was meant to look like. So I mean, all our bodybuilding is technically, to me, classic bodybuilding. And one thing I love about the bodybuilding division is that you get to basically showcase a bunch of different poses. So, you might have two poses that aren't your thing, but you might have two or three that you just cannot wait to hit, and they are like your secret weapon up there on that stage. But yeah, check out Zach, Team Ecto in the house. Us small frame dudes can definitely get down. Let's see. Yeah, typical day here at the gym. Like that's one thing. Remember, we waited for someone to like leave his room. Year round, you can catch people posing there. Like it's such a, go bodybuilding type of environment, which again is a luxury for sure. My last two gyms that I belong to, like this stuff is definitely cool, but in most gyms it's kind of like, I'm gonna ask you guys to leave, and that bikini girl you brought, like, can she please stop frog pumping? And oh, Eric. So here's Eric, and you're gonna see what I mean by just all the potential this dude has. So full, so round, and really, really nice shape. And the cool part is, like, dude is super humble. I don't think he fully knows just how good he can be just yet. You're gonna see him on stage later on, and he is up there like clashing with like some really, really good bodybuilders, and getting his punches in as well. But yeah, the Jeff Alberts in the background while you pose is, I think, definitely one of those souvenirs that you take with you when it's all said and done. And I hope these boys appreciate this footage, and I know they appreciate posing with Jeff. But I'm glad that I was able to capture this for them and just watch Jeff do his thing. I've seen it for like a decade now, but I still can't get over his eye and his ability to just do little things that hide deficiencies in someone's physique, things that we all have, that we're all up there trying to hide, and then really showcasing the goodness in an individual's physique. So this was the next day. This is what it's like at the, I guess, outside of the dressing room in the Mayhem. So we always hang out by this tree. This is the 3D Muscle Journey tree. And fools know, when we roll up, if they're by a tree, they kind of scatter. They're like, oh shoot, there go the 3D MJ guys. No, but this has been coined our tree for the last few years. Alice, Nick, all the way from Australia, my really, really good friends. And oh, there goes Leo. I told you my boy was aesthetic. But this is where we gather, and there's a lot of chit chat. Steve Furman, 2012 sponsored athlete, and shows are a lot of hurry up and wait. So we really take the time to catch up and see how everyone's doing. See, I told you, my boy Nick brought it. Look at that. You can't caliper to this dude, and I wasn't gonna try to because I didn't want to leave him with a bruise, just trying to grab whatever was left there. This was definitely the best that I've ever seen Nick, and and I think the way he improves year after year, he's not done yet. He's just known for that ridiculous conditioning, and he brought it up an extra notch. Here's Josh, all nice and tanned. I'll show you guys the tanning area in 1 second. So as you can tell, like, it really like brings things out, and especially under those lights, it definitely brings things out. Look at, that's ridiculous, Nick. But but yeah, he took it to he doesn't know anything else other than shredded, but this year he took it to a whole new level. Super proud of this dude, super inspired by this dude is probably a better way of putting it. Yeah, whatever I did last season, it's like, the next batch comes in and they supersede that, and it makes me feel like, man, you think about it twice before you decide to commit to a prep, because it gets crazier and crazier every year. That's the tanning area, and here's where you can see the order of events. Competitors will go back and forth all day trying to time their meals, trying to time their pump, trying to make sure that they look their best on that stage. You never really nail it 100%, but it's super helpful to have a list like that. Nick from Better Aesthetics, well, and he's talking about the physiques, I think here. The physiques that he's going to get to photograph were top notch this year. And yeah, so it's I mean, can you imagine the shots he got? Because you guys are going to see some of the shots that I got. And I'm glad that, hey, finally got myself a decent enough camera so that you guys can see like the fact that we bring it. That's my boy Paul Urciaga right there, natural pro bodybuilder himself, the man who is always armed and dangerous. And this dude right here, so this is a Team 3DMJ family member right here. This is Ace Baldwin, who's been hunting for his WNBF pro card for a while now, like years. Yeah, it's been a little elusive, but this was like the best I've ever seen this veterano to date. Like, yeah, like this is what a complete physique looks like. Big, muscular, full, grainy. It hurts to just watch him pose. It's like yucky. Yeah, when you make a fellow bodybuilder cringe a little bit with some of your poses, that means you did it right, and that he certainly did. So super happy for this dude. He figured out what works best for him. Check out this hammy. What is that? So, yeah. At this point, I'd say after seeing everyone, I thought that it was going to be between Nick. Nick is going to be between Ace. And it was going to be between Joshua. I was like, okay, it really comes down to how they compare. They all have features that stand out when they're kind of by themselves. But on that stage and running through all the poses, that's when we see who's who. Worthy mention right here, this is my boy Sam, 20-year-old. Sam is a 20-year-old bodybuilder. And look at that. With all the hype around Joshua, like this is a kid that I think people kind of slept on. And 20 years old, and to be that thick, I think I was like 140 pounds when I was that age and like running around circles in a track still. World champ Sam and Chris Elkins. Sam is not very fond of the title world champ, but that he is. One of the most complete bodybuilders on planet Earth, but humble as can be. So here are the stage shots, some stage footage. This is what the lightweights look like, and man, just as we scan through this, there's a few physiques there that you're like, man, like these are pro-worthy physiques, and yeah, it's kind of like all these guys. I'm sure a lot of these guys were like, I'm gunning for that card, and it's one of those things where, as they say, you never know who's going to show up, and a bunch of freaks showed up to this one, and I think especially the lightweight class was ultra stacked. And I think they were up there the longest. So these were the lightweights. You can see Nick, you can see Ace, you can see Sam, you can see Leo up there, and yeah, they definitely. I think they needed 2 spins throughout the symmetry round before they even hit a front double bicep, a back double bicep, a side tricep. Yeah, the judges wanted to make sure they get it right, so to speak. But yeah, overall, I was super pleased with this lightweight lineup, and seeing that I'm a lightweight myself, so I love when the lightweights are up there making a little bit of noise, and it seems like we might have an overall winner that comes out of that division. This is the pose down, I think, and it's more so just for funsies. At this point, the judges have made their decisions during the morning show. This is more so just to wake up the crowd, who often is just a little bit too polite during the morning session. So yeah, just kind of gets them going, lets the boys get a few of their favorite shots, sometimes shots that aren't necessarily formal poses. Yeah, it's just do it so that mom can get a good snap of you, right? Um, this was the middleweight lineup. So look at these guys. So you can see Eric, you can see my boy Patty up there, Josh right there. Man, and then the heavyweight. He came all the way from China. There was only one heavyweight, so they let him pose with the middleweight. So heavyweights, if you're out there, come on, what you doing, dude? Get on this. If you, I think 185 and up, Mayhem 2019. Why not? This was the 20th anniversary of the show, and they made it extra special. Lighting's always on point. The judging's always on point. The way the athletes are treated, the experience, top notch. But they went a little extra hard this year, and we all appreciate it. So Bob and Tina, we all appreciate what you guys not only did for us this last weekend, but also over the last 20 years. Tough lineup. This was also a tough lineup. You just had so many athletes that brought like different things. Some guys had the shreds, some guys had the symmetry, some guys had the thickness. So yeah, I think the judges, Josh is a freak, but they definitely had their work cut out for them during this division. So at the end, who ended up winning the middleweights was Josh. Josh won the middleweights. Freaky 19-year-old kid won the middleweights, and then Ace won the lightweights. Obviously, the heavyweight won by default, and they got to work in the overall, which was really cool to see because you had like the future and the 19-year-old phenom there. You had the old vet Ace, who has been doing this, has been training, I'm sure, longer than Josh has been alive, battling it out, and that was something to watch, like the now and the future, you could say. But yeah, I mean, they work, these boys, and they always do. And that's one thing I love about this show is that you get enough stage time so that you feel like you did get a good enough look while you're up there. So it's not just like the spin and like, peace out, homie. We'll see you later tonight. They got their pose down in, and hey, it's not worth anything really, but everyone always has like a crap ton of fun come time to pose down. So up next is going to be the overall for the pro card, and man, let me see if I can give you guys. I haven't seen this footage yet, so I'm gonna try to give you guys look at that. Jeff Albert's on the side. Yeah, this thing's a spectacle. In fact, this is the natural show to do. Worth the trip. Think about it. This was the overall though, and so there you go. You have three guys. First, you start off with the symmetry round, which is like your front relax, your side relaxes, your back relaxes, and they'll spin you until the judges are pleased, because you can get a whole lot from just from this leg of the judging. It tells you a whole lot, and often if you do fall behind in the symmetry round, it's really, even though you have so many more poses during the muscularity round, usually what made you good during the symmetry round, during these like relaxed bodybuilding relaxed spins, it's really hard to come back from. So yeah, they spun them until the judges were pleased, and upon completing the spins until these boys were dizzy, then they get to, first pose is always the front double bicep, and from there, hopefully, ideally you didn't lose too much ground, or you've built up quite a lead during the symmetry round. Yeah, we were nervous. Like Josh is our current athlete, but Ace is, we hold him near and dear for sure. And he's, like I said, he's wanted this card for a while, and he's always felt he's a world-class bodybuilder, and he wanted to see it put together on this day. But same thing with my boy Josh. Like he's had a little bit more pressure, I think, than most 19-year-olds have when they sign up for their first show. They post it on Instagram that I'm going to do the damn thing. And so he had eyes on him. So I'm sure that, in his case, he wanted to make sure that, I wouldn't say that he knows, like, he's his hardest judge. He's his harshest judge for sure. But nevertheless, he wanted to make sure that he lived up to the hype. And I think he certainly did. And even though like he's going to do the responsible thing and take a long extended off season, put on some more mess, how, why, what, right? I think upon doing this, what it's going to do for him is it's going to like realign his goals a little bit more. It's like you're legit now a bodybuilder, like straight up when you go to the gym, like you are there to get better. You're there to win your next show. And same thing with Ace. I think his mentality was going into this I'm world class, and I want to prove it now. I want entry into the WNBF pro circuit so I can do my thing there. So there we go. We're in the muscularity round, front double bicep, front lat spread, and hey, who do you guys have so far? Who do you guys have so far? It's close, I'd say, for sure. Josh has that super nice head to toe structure, his symmetry. And again, symmetry is not just left to right. Symmetry is what the kids kind of know is like what the kids call aesthetics. Like that is what symmetry is. Like it's like big bulging muscle bellies that look like the trophies that they give out. That is what being aesthetically gifted or having good symmetry actually means. He ended up winning the most symmetrical award, who is named after one of my favorite judges, the OG California Natural Muscle Mayhem judge, Wade Brown, who I can say that I've had him judge me, and I've had him say, "Gentlemen, pose down," which like you'll never forget that if you've been up there. But without reminiscing too much, when it comes to my own junk. Yeah, I think Josh had the symmetry. He had muscularity that I think was right up there with Ace. Ace is a thick ass bodybuilder, but he was right up there with him. Like at 19 years of age, like not really losing a step when it comes to the muscularity. But Ace though, like you just. This is why shredded looks right on stage. Like this is why ultra like not like I got shredded to go like to the water park, like that's not the goal, but like shredded, nasty. Shredded looks so good on stage. You might look small in your clothes. People might ask you, do you still lift? Are you sick? Is one that we hear sometimes. But as you can see, my boy Ace is sick. He's sick with it, absolutely. And that conditioning, when it's on like that, like you just can't take your eyes off the person. So at the end, Ace ended up edging out Josh for the WNBF Pro card. And let's not forget everyone who contributed to the show, because these dudes like brought it. But all the other guys, same thing. They left a mark. So yeah. So to all our athletes, all the athletes that were on here. And the ones that didn't make it because they were inside where it was air conditioned. I don't blame you guys. It was like 100 degrees outside. Thank you so much for letting us be part of your journey. And I guess I'll just leave it with like letting Ace have his
title, 2018 overall champion. It's the year of the lightweight 63 Ace Austin. Great job, Great job.